Hey guys, it's me, Natural Melanade. Welcome to my channel if you are new. And to the new subscribers that I've seen come in, I just want to say a huge thank you. We are happy to have you in my YouTube family. I hope that you are enjoying my content. So stick around with me guys, because I'm going to take you on a journey. You're going to travel with me, you're going to meet my family, you're going to go shopping with me, and there's no telling what else we're going to get into. So thank you for joining my YouTube family. The first thing that I want to get into is, it's 2023. What? Like, 2022 went by so fast. It's 2023. So, a big happy new year, guys, to you all. I hope you guys are enjoying your 2023 thus far. We are what, 8 days in? It's January 8th. So I hope you guys are really enjoying the start of your new year. I don't really do New Year's resolutions or anything like that. I have a plan in my mind and I just go for it. So what I want to go for today is, I want to tell you my top 10 things I think you should know before you go to Jamaica. You guys, I went to Jamaica with my sister and her best friend, and we had a ball. There were some things that we learned that I think would have been more beneficial had we known before we went. So I want to make sure I share it with you guys. So let's get into it. If you see me looking down occasionally, it's because I have notes here, because I don't want to miss a thing. Like, I want you to know everything you need to know before you go to Jamaica, so that you can have a ball like we did. Like, we really had one of the best times of our lives, and it was so much fun. It was relaxing. It was just everything. So let me tell y'all what y'all need to know. Okay, tip number 1. This is gonna seem obvious, but some people may not know. You need a passport, okay? You need a passport to go to Jamaica. I know it seems very fundamental, but some people may not know that you need a passport. Unlike Puerto Rico, which is part of the US, you can just fly there no problem, and the US Virgin Islands, but Jamaica is its own country. It's not a part of the US, so you need a passport. I would strongly suggest, if you know about around the time frame that you want to travel to Jamaica, I suggest getting your passport at least 8 weeks in advance. Now, if you expedite, you can get it roughly 5 weeks. At least that was my experience. But I strongly suggest that you get it at least 2 months prior to your travel date. Tip number 2. So the first thing, once you have your passport and you can go ahead and book your flight, book your hotel, Airbnb, wherever you're staying, you're gonna make sure that you know that information, because when you fly into Jamaica and you go through customs, that's one of the things that they wanna know. They're gonna ask for your passport. They're gonna ask where you're going, as in, do you have an address for your Airbnb? Do you know what resort you're staying at? And when are you leaving? So you have to have all of that information. They want to know your travel dates. They want to know your location, where you're going, and if you're coming for business or leisure. So make sure you have all your ducks in a row when you come through customs in Jamaica. Okay, arriving in Jamaica, it's hot. In December when I traveled, it was still hot. Like, I live in Florida, so I know what a tropical environment is like. However, I live in North Florida, and in December, it can get a little chilly. Case in point, it was 20 degrees. No, it was 20 degrees when we came back. It was 46 degrees when we left. On our way to Jamaica, I promise you, I had on a whole sweatshirt and joggers, and that's how I arrived in Jamaica. And I was not dressed like I should be, because it was hot in Jamaica, and people were looking at me like, you don't come to Jamaica in long sleeves. And they were like, where are you from? And I said, I'm from Florida. And they was like, Florida? That's the same weather as here. No, it's not. not North Florida. It gets cold sometimes. It doesn't last long, but it does get cold. So the point I'm gonna make here is tip number 3. In your carry-on, make sure you carry a change of clothing. Make sure that you have your swimsuit in your carry-on. And this is why I'm gonna say this. You may arrive at your resort prior to your room being ready. So my experience was, when I got there, it was roughly 10:30 and the room wasn't ready until 3 p.m. And they will hold your luggage for you and make sure nothing happens to it. And I could have changed into my swimsuit. I could have changed into a t-shirt and shorts and been more comfortable instead of walking around in my joggers until 3 p.m. So I wasted a lot of time like sitting there waiting for the room to be ready when I could have been more prepared and came with clothing that was more suitable for the weather there, and kind of interacted in the pool area or even went out in town and enjoyed myself until the room was ready. So that's tip number 3. Make sure you carry a change of clothing, a swimsuit, whatever you're gonna need to go through your day until your room is ready. On to tip number 4. Guys, make sure that you bring cash with you. And I'm saying this because the moment that you step off the plane and you're in Jamaica, whatever transportation you have arranged for yourself from the airport to your resort or Airbnb, you're gonna wanna tip them. And I'm saying this because their economy thrives off our tourism. It thrives off us visiting them, and I'm trying to think of a great way to put this is, let's just say your gratuity makes a difference. So please don't tip like some people do and just give like $1 or something like that. Just like really put in the effort to give a good tip, because they're gonna give you great service. They're going to make sure that you're taken care of. So just make sure that you show that you're appreciative through your gratuity. So that's all I'm gonna say on that. But I made sure that I had cash on me. They do have ATMs. So if you're gonna use an ATM, you're gonna find out if it's going to dispense the Jamaican currency or the US currency. And to be honest, the ATM that I use, it dispensed both, and you had a choice whether you wanted to receive your money in Jamaican currency or USD. It's very important to know the conversion rate between Jamaican currency and USD. And I say that because if you're going to select Jamaican currency to spend during your stay, make sure you spend it all, because the exchange rate may not be what you want it to be. You may actually lose money, and you don't want to do that. So my rule of thumb is, if I'm using currency from a different country, I'm going to make sure I spend all of that currency in that country. Otherwise, if I'm using US dollars, then I'm gonna make sure that I do know the conversion rate, so I know the exact amount that I should be giving. The best way to do that is to use your phone, because it has the daily exchange rate there on your phone. That's another thing. If you're gonna use your phone, make sure you download the WhatsApp, because WhatsApp is how you're going to keep in touch with your family back in the States, and how you're going to stay in touch with people in Jamaica without spending a lot of money on phone rates. As soon as you touch down in Jamaica, your carrier is going to send you a text message telling you exactly how much it's going to cost you to make calls per minute. And I believe it was $2.30 a minute. Who has time for that? I'm not paying that. They offer you a rate of $10 a day, I believe, to make international calls. You don't have to do that. What you can do is download WhatsApp. You can contact everyone in Jamaica and everyone back at home with no issues. So, and it's absolutely free. All you do is use a Wi-Fi connection, and that's it, and that's all. I'm gonna hook you up. I'm gonna look out for you. So yeah, do not pay that $2.30 a minute. Just period. Tip number 5. Private driver versus the tour shuttle bus. Guys, personally, I did not want to be on a tour bus for 6 to 8 hours going to different excursions and stopping at different tourist spots. I wanted to see the real Montego Bay, and I wanted to experience it firsthand without being on a time crunch or being inconvenienced with waiting for everyone else. And I guess if you're on a solo trip, that's great, and I don't knock anybody who does it, but I preferred a private driver. So when we were at the Breathless Resort, we met a young man named Kingston. He's actually the one who gave us the room tour, and he asked us if we were going to be booking excursions. And we said yeah, because we wanted to do the bomba rafting. So he gave us a great connection with a woman by the name of Momo, who is the owner of Jamaican Dream Tours. I will link her socials in the description, and I'm going to put her number right here. You probably seen her information in the vlog previous to this one, but I want to make sure I give it to you again because I have been receiving a few comments and messages on TikTok asking for the details of my trip to the Breathless Resort and my trip to Montego Bay overall, and I strongly suggest that you get a private driver, and Momo is one of the best. When I tell you, I felt safe the entire time, and she was very informative of the city itself and the country as a whole, and she listened to what we wanted to do and make sure that we had a great experience. When problems arose, and it was only one, she took care of it. She was like, you're on vacation, don't worry about it, I got you. And she did exactly that. So I strongly suggest, the minute you know like what resort you're gonna be at and your travel dates, contact Momo and book her during your stay for her to be your tour guide and driver. She does it all, from airport transportation to and from, tour guides. She'll take you to the nightlife, where excursions, wherever you want to go, just let her know. Even if she can't go, like for instance, we went to a club on the Hip Strip, and she couldn't make it back to us because we had not booked her in advance. This was spur of the moment. She sent a young man for us, and he was respectful, professional, friendly. We felt safe with him because he didn't just take us to the club and drop us off. He went inside the club with us. So he sort of acted as a driver and a bodyguard. And at no time did we feel threatened or unsafe. It was not like that. You know, people noticed that, you know, we were there because we're Americans, so of course, but there was no problems. No one bothered us or made us feel uncomfortable where we didn't feel safe or anything like that. So don't worry about that. I had a ball. There were no issues. So I said all that to say, I believe that hiring a private driver or a private tour guide is the best way to go. And it's not as expensive as you may think it is. Make sure you hit up Momo at Jamaica Dream Tours, okay? Tip number 6, don't be afraid to leave your resort. The resort area is beautiful. It's breathtaking. I will give it all of those 5 stars, everything. But in order to experience Jamaica as a whole, you need to go out into the city and just sightsee, walk around, travel, drive around, whatever. No one is going to bother you. They're not out to get you. I mean, there are bad areas everywhere you go, right here in the United States. But honestly, those people are not thinking about you. They're happy that you're there to visit their country and, you know, see what they have to offer, but they're not trying to harm you. So just go out, explore, see what Jamaica is all about. There's some very beautiful places that you don't want to miss. And if you just stay on the resort, you're gonna miss it all. Tip number 7. Okay guys, make sure that any excursions that you want to go on, whether it's bomber rafting, whether it's ATV tours, whether it's going to horseback riding at Chucka, wherever it is you want to go, make sure you book it as soon as you arrive. Even a restaurant that requires reservations, you want to do that as soon as you arrive. Case in point, we were staying at the Breathless Resort. We heard about an hibachi restaurant at the Secrets Resort next door. Well, this hibachi restaurant was reservations only. So we made sure that we called the day that we arrived. And good thing we did, because we just were able to slide in there like the day before our last day. So make sure if you want to book any excursions, make sure you book them as soon as you arrive, as well as any restaurants that require reservations. Do that as soon as possible. Tip number 8, nightlife in Montego Bay. Again, I will stress the point of you need to have a private driver, and Momo is the best tour guide that I experienced. So they will take you to nightlife that you want to visit, or even something they may suggest, but they will stay with you while you're at the bar or lounge or wherever you are, so that you feel safe. And there's no reason not to feel safe. I didn't experience anything bad the whole time that we were there, so you're good there. Make sure you leave the resort. The Hip Strip in Montego Bay, we went to the 2727 Lounge, and then we also went to Pier 1 on Wednesday night. Guys, you're gonna have fun, because even with us going during the week on a Tuesday and Wednesday, it was still jumping as if you were back in the States on a Friday or a Saturday night. So don't let the weekday turn you off, because in Jamaica, they party, doesn't matter the day. So venture out and experience something new. And it's gonna be an experience, because it's not like most of the clubs in the States in regards to the 2727 Lounge was backed up to an ocean view from all angles just about. So it's just something you have to see for yourself. So make sure you try to experience the nightlife while you're there. Tip number 9, make sure you visit the marketplace. Try some of the fresh fruit and the fresh vegetables if you can, because it tastes like none other. You guys, I experienced mangoes that were picked from a tree, and it was just the best. So juicy, just tastes so good. You have to try that. And last but not least, tip number 10, have an amazing time. Let your hair down. People in Jamaica don't rush around and they don't seem stressed out. They seem very relaxed, and you don't have a choice but to be relaxed yourself, because they're relaxed. So go there, have a great time, let your hair down, and just enjoy your vacation. Okay guys, so that's my top 10 tips for Jamaica everything you need to know before you go. If you have any questions, please leave your question down in the comment below and I will be sure to answer you. I answer every time. Most importantly, if you're going to Jamaica, just have a great time. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you would like to see the next travel destination that I will take you to. And until then, bye.